Welcome to the Autism Infocast. I'm Peter Clark, founder and chairman of the Autism Info Center. Our podcasts delve into every part of autism and neurodiversity, and we want to help you spread understanding, respect, and kindness for those whose lives are affected. Whether you're autistic yourself, or whether you know or care for someone who's autistic, or maybe you just come into contact with autistic people in everyday life. Either way, please feel free to check out our hundreds of articles, videos, books, and training courses at autisminfocenter.org. And I'll leave you now in the capable hands of today's hosts, Jemima and Theo. Over to you.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is the podcast where we take important information and, try to distill it into clear, actionable insights for you. Today, our focus is really squarely on understanding and actively supporting autistic family members. Think of this as a guide for anyone, really, who wants to be a truly effective, loving presence in their family. Maybe you're a grandparent, an aunt, uncle, sibling, or, even a cousin.
Exactly. And I think it's important to say right at the start, the goal here isn't about fixing anyone or anything. It's much more about fostering a real understanding, deep acceptance, and just overall well-being. Our aim is really to help you create a truly inclusive family environment, where everyone feels they belong and can thrive. We'll be looking at some practical, sensitive guidance that can genuinely make a difference.
Okay, so to really get into this, where do we even begin? If someone wants to build that foundational understanding, what are the most valuable first step, especially with all the myths and misconceptions out there?
That's a really crucial question, because the first step, it absolutely has to be education, just learning more. We really need to move beyond those common, often quite inaccurate stereotypes. So at its core, autism is a lifelong neurodevelopmental condition. It affects how a person communicates, how they interact with others, and also how they experience the sensory world around them. But the key thing, and we really can't stress this enough, is that autism is a spectrum.
Right, you hear spectrum a lot. But what does that actually mean in practice? It's not just like a straight line from mild to severe, is it?
Exactly. It's much more complex than that. Think of it more like a color wheel, maybe,
right,
with lots of different shades and combinations. Every single autistic person is unique. They have their own distinct profile of strengths, challenges, sensory experiences, ways of communicating. So what works brilliantly for one person might be completely irrelevant or maybe even unhelpful for someone else. You can't assume.
And that nuanced understanding, that sounds like the absolute key. It's the foundation for unlocking more positive interactions, isn't it?
It really is. That's the bedrock.
So, okay, once we have that foundation, how do we translate it into, our everyday interactions?
Yeah.
What are some practical tips, maybe small changes that can have a big impact?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, and often small adjustments make a huge difference. One of the biggest things is simply patience and allowing time. Autistic people can sometimes take longer to process information, to sort of absorb what's being said or what's happening, and then figure out how to respond. And it's really important to know this isn't disinterest. It's not being slow. It's just a different processing style. So allowing for comfortable pauses in conversation, not rushing them for an answer, that can make a massive difference. It reduces anxiety.
That makes sense. And building on that, clear communication seems vital too.
Yeah.
You mentioned how many autistic people interpret language very literally. So things like sarcasm or idioms like it's raining cats and dogs, or even just subtle hints, they can be really confusing.
Absolutely. Very confusing sometimes. So the most helpful approach, just be clear and direct. Say what you mean. Use straightforward language.
So less ambiguity.
Exactly. Avoid those idioms. Avoid sarcasm unless you know the person gets it and enjoys it. Don't expect them to read between the lines. Instead of say, maybe we should think about leaving soon, try something specific like, we'll leave for the park at 3 p.m. That clarity helps enormously. And another really big concept is understanding that behavior is communication.
Okay, unpack that a bit. That sounds profound, but how does it play out? What should we look for?
Well, what might look like unusual or maybe challenging behaviors, say, someone becoming very quiet or maybe starting to stim.
Stimming, like rocking or hand flapping.
Yes, exactly. Rocking, hand flapping, maybe repeating a sound or word. These actions are often forms of communication or self-regulation. They might do it when they're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or even excited. Stimming can help them manage sensory input or process emotions. It's a coping mechanism. So instead of judging the behavior or trying to stop it, the helpful thing is to get curious. Ask yourself, What might be going on for them right now? What need might this behavior be communicating? It's usually a sign of something we're feeling or needing. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, think about family gatherings. They can be great, but let's be honest, they're often noisy, crowded, socially quite complex, and that can be really challenging for an autistic person.
Yeah, that makes sense. Which brings up sensory needs, doesn't it? Loud music, lots of conversations at once, bright lights, that can all lead to sensory overload. So what can extended family members do? How can we respect those needs without, completely changing the whole event?
It's about being mindful, mostly. Just being aware of the sensory environment. Maybe notice if the music is really loud or if it's very crowded. A simple, really helpful thing you could do is identify or even suggest a quieter space. Like, hey, it's a bit quieter in the kitchen if you need a break. Just offering that option can be huge. And another really important point on respect is physical contact.
Like hugging.
Exactly. Unexpected touch can be really distressing for some autistic people. So the golden rule is always ask first. A simple, can I give you a hug? Or would you like a hug? Shows respect for their boundaries. It makes a world of difference.
Okay, ask first. Got it. And what about their interests? I know many autistic people have really deep, passionate, special interests. How can we engage with those respectfully?
Well, this is such a powerful way to connect. Those interests, even if they seem niche or unusual to you, are incredibly important to them. Showing genuine interest is key. Don't just nod along. Ask questions. Learn something about it.
So engage properly.
Yes. Listen respectfully when they talk about it. It shows you value them, you value what they care about. It's incredibly validating and a fantastic way to build rapport.
And building on that connection, you mentioned something earlier about forging your own relationship, separate from maybe their parents or main carers.
Yeah.
That sounds really valuable too.
It really is. It helps the autistic person feel seen and valued as an individual, not just as someone's child or sibling. This relationship could be built around a shared interest you discover together. Or maybe it's a regular quiet activity, like you always do a puzzle together, or go for a walk, or watch a certain type of show, something that's just between the two of you. It fosters a unique bond and a sense of belonging for them as a person in their own right.
Okay, so bringing this all together, we've talked about understanding and interacting directly. What about supporting the immediate family? The parents, maybe a partner, they often carry a huge load, don't they?
They really do. And your support as an extended family member can be absolutely vital. But the type of support matters. Vague offers like, let me know if you need anything, while well-intentioned, often put the burden back on the already exhausted parent to figure out what to ask for and then actually ask.
Right. It can be hard to even know what you need when you're overwhelmed.
Exactly. So instead, try offering practical, specific help. Things like, I'm heading to the supermarket on Saturday. Can I grab your shopping list? Or I'd love to take Jamie to the park for an hour this afternoon if you'd like a break.
So concrete offers they can easily say yes or no to.
Precisely. It takes the mental load off them.
And sometimes, maybe the best support isn't practical help at all. Maybe it's just listening.
Oh, absolutely. The power of listening without judgment is immense. Just letting them share their challenges, their worries, their successes too, without jumping in with unsolicited advice.
Yeah, resisting the urge to fix it.
Yes. Validate their feelings. Acknowledge how hard it might be. Trust that they know their child and their family best. Just being that safe space to talk can be incredibly supportive. And this kind of ties back to the main point about the extended family's role. It really isn't to swoop in and fix anything. It's about offering consistent love, genuine acceptance, and creating that safe harbor of understanding. You are such a vital part of weaving that family fabric where everyone, truly everyone, in all their diversity, belongs and feels valued.
So if we were to summarize our podcast today, the key takeaways seem to be really educating yourself is foundational. Then adapting your interactions thoughtfully, patience, clarity, respecting needs. And finally, offering that specific non-judgmental support to the immediate family. All these contribute hugely to everyone's well-being.
Beautifully put. And I think the final thought to leave listeners with is that by embracing these roles, you're not just supporting one individual. You're enriching the entire family. You're helping to build a more understanding, more accepting world, starting right there in your own family circle.
Thanks for listening to this Autism Infocast from the AutismInfoCenter.org.
Thank you, Jemima and Theo. I'm sure we've all learned something there today. Don't forget to visit AutismInfoCenter.org to hear our other episodes, browse our library of articles, see our inspiring range of books, watch our videos about autism and neurodiversity, and find out about training courses that can help you or your organisation make the world a safer, happier and more meaningful place for us all. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, please feel free to spread the word about Autism Info Centre. A quick mention on your socials is always appreciated. Until next time, this is Peter Clark from autisminfocentre.org. Have a great day.